Hello crafters, this is Yana Smakula. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a card I made nearly a year ago. I created this project last spring, and the reason I haven't shared it until now is painfully simple. I just didn't have the time. Now this card uses supplies in a different, non-intended way. I used a beautiful bakery window die from Tina Smith's Sweet Street collection with spellbinders, and I turned it into a flower shop display. Now, Tina owns a little bakery, and this die set is simply perfect to create a little bakery window filled with all sorts of cupcakes and pastries. I'm not big on sweets, I'm more of a cheese and wine kind of girl, so the bakery display wasn't really my thing. But I really loved that window die, especially the awning, and I really wanted to use it on a card. I decided I would instead turn the bakery window into a flower shop window. All supplies I'm using for this project are listed and linked in the video description below for your convenience. Now here's a look at the two dies from the bakery window die set that I used to create containers for my flowers. Tina intended these as a cake die and as a cupcake topper dies, but I found these to work really well as little containers for my flowers. The cupcake toppers looked especially like little vases. Here's one that I already put together. I added tiny little flowers and even tiny little leaves onto the larger container. I embellished those with gems, and I have a perfect little floral arrangement that you would see in a flower shop window. Now here's another little vase with a single flower. It looks stunning. My mom usually has a single flower, typically a rose, in a small vase in her kitchen. And this cupcake topper piece that I used for the vase here kind of reminded me of that vase shape that she uses. And adding that one single flower to that vase overall reminded me of the flowers in my mom's kitchen. The flower dies come from two different die sets, and these are my favorite this year. One set is the mini blooms and sprigs. That's where the smaller flowers come from. And you'll also later see me use the Simply Perfect Layered Blooms die set. That's the die set with the bigger flowers. And I use the bigger flowers to decorate the wall behind the window. I die cut these smaller flowers from colored cardstock, and some flowers are layered, so I cut the layers from two different shades of cardstock, a light and a dark shade, but then the other flowers are just a single layer. I used my crystal katana tool and barely art glue to help me assemble these. Now these pieces are super small, and you'll need some sort of a jewel picker tool to help you position the pieces in place and glue them together. I had lots of fun putting together these floral arrangements for my flower shop window. I enjoyed combining different colors and different types of flowers in one floral container, so that was kind of fun. There's also this 5-flower branch die cut, and I used it to make smaller flowers on a stem, individual flowers. I adhered a different flower onto each branch, and then I cut the branches off, creating 5 different flowers on a stem that I used in the smaller vases. Once I had the flowers and the floral containers created, I moved on to building the window for my card. I die cut the window piece 3 times to make it sturdier and also to give it some dimension. I wanted the window frame to be a little bit thicker. Next, I did some altering. I removed the smaller shelf in the middle of the window as it was too small to accommodate my flower arrangements. It is perfect to hold little cupcakes, but it is too small for my flowers. I then glued all of 3 layers together. Here I used brown cardstock, but the window frame on my final card was cut from white. Now, if you want to create a very tall window display, you could connect several of these frames and create a very tall window for a slimline card. You also have an awning die in this die set, and the way this die is designed, you can create it in different colors, and I love doing that. I love playing with the various color combinations. You have the solid backer piece, and then you have the detail die. And by cutting these out from two different colors of cardstock, you can create various color awnings for your card. You can just alternate the colors to create the most adorable awnings. You could also use it as an umbrella by adding a pole in the center, just like so. I think it's a very fun and versatile die set. Now, to make the window for my card, I stacked 3 white die cuts and I adhered them onto a midnight green cardstock panel from Simon Says stamp. The awning was made from white, midnight green, and I later added Audrey blue inserts. With the window created, I simply added the flower arrangements onto the shelves, alternating between a bigger and a smaller arrangement, and I adhered them using foam squares. I went for a light blue, yellow, and green color combo, but this would look especially amazing done in pink, yellow, and red for a more feminine look. I adhered my window onto a foiled panel. I used the Spellbinders Dual Line Glimmer foil plate and foiled it in gold foil to create a foiled border for this card. This helps to frame everything. I also created a Forever Grateful sentiment, again, foiled it in gold but on midnight green cardstock. If you don't have a hot foil machine, you can totally skip the foiling for this project and just replace the sentiment with a stamped one. Next, I used the larger flowers and added those behind the window, decorating the wall. I wanted these flowers to continue the floral look outside the window display and onto the imaginary wall of our flower shop. I used the same colors, skipping the yellow, and I also added tons of jewels to dress these flowers up. So there you have it, a super simple way to alter your die cuts and use your supplies in a different, non-intended way. Once again, I love Tina's bakery window. It's actually called the Sweet Shop dies from her Sweet Street collection, and the entire collection is just adorable. Do check it out. Thanks so much for joining me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.